What's good, everyone? Welcome to the Other Guys, the spot where sports meets culture. We call it exactly how we see it: the NBA, the NFL, sports betting, and all the wild stories in between. I'm here with my boy, my bhai, Naveen. Brother, how are we doing?
And I'm here with my boy Kush. I'm doing amazing, man. I'm excited to be here. Let me get straight to it. We're not here to break down every stat. We're not experts. We really don't know shit. We're just two brown dudes that love watching sports. And that's really all it comes down to at the end of the day. We're going to keep everything real, no filters, no fluff. Just think of it as two guys sitting at a bar, just watching sports, eating wings, drinking beer. That's kind of talk we're going to be having on this podcast. So, Kush, please tell me about yourself.
For sure, man. Naptown, 317, Indiana. Grew up in Indianapolis, Indiana, on the south side in a small town called Southport. Look, sports are my life. I love watching them, sports betting. I've always believed myself that sports it's like the ultimate unifier, regardless of race, class, religion. You can kind of put all of that aside and just cheer, with a random person sitting next to you, just, cheering on your team together. And I think for me specifically, look, like I said, I grew up on the south side of Indy and there wasn't much diversity there while I was growing up. And so for me specifically, just making friends, I think that common denominator was always sports. And that's how I grew, my relationships that I have with my friends today. It's all because of sports. It's kind of all where it started. And so the Colts, the Pacers, IU basketball, USA soccer, those are the teams that I support. But Naveen, how about yourself? Maybe talk a little bit about yourself as well.
Yeah, for sure. Um, like I said, my name's Naveen, and I've always been kind of similar to you, as sports has always been a big part of my life. Um, I grew up in Omaha, Nebraska, where you know, Nebraska football, Nebraska sports in general is just everything we consume on a daily basis. Um, since we don't really have any professional sports here, when I first started watching sports in general, I just kind of started watching. I was just like a bandwagon, like Lakers fan and stuff like that. But when I really first started watching NBA basketball was right when Russ got drafted to the Thunder. So I've always been a Thunder fan, um, NBA wise. So that's been fun these last couple of years, watching them grow up and finally win the title this year. But besides that, NFL wise, I don't really have a team. I kind of think of myself as Rob Lowe in the NFL hat, where he's just kind of clapping. They pan to him and he's just clapping there within. He's wearing a hat with an NFL shield on it. I just love the sport of the NFL. I love fantasy football. I just really love sports in general. I've been dabbling in a lot of cricket lately. So, with all that said, how did we end up here, man? Have mics in front of us. We have cameras. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, great question, man. I think both of us are kind of in a similar boat. We're kind of going through a midlife crisis. We can't afford therapy. So we said, what the hell? Why not just start a podcast and let our feelings out? But no, I'm just playing. On a serious note, like Naveen said, we both love sports. It'll be like 3 a.m. at night. There's nothing going on. And Naveen and I will be having a discussion on whether we should take the points on Eric Bledsoe while he's playing for the Shanghai Sharks. And I think that perfectly describes our relationship as well. It's sports is just something that we can talk about forever. And podcasting and sports podcasting, we look at this space and the two of us don't see a lot of South Asian representation. And that's just the podcast space in general. And so we're not saying we want to become the South Asian voices for sports. But we figured, why not step out of our comfort zone and see where this podcast can go? And so, Naveen, I guess what can listeners expect from us on a week to week basis?
Yeah. Right off the bat, we're gonna try posting a brand new episode every week. Um, we're gonna try to make clips from each of our episodes, and we'll probably post those daily on our social medias, like YouTube's, TikToks, Instagram, whatever. But in terms of what we're gonna be talking about, we're gonna be talking a lot about football, especially because it's football season right now. But also both huge NBA fans, so we'll be talking a lot of basketball when that kind of rolls around. And honestly, we'll just be talking about whatever is going on in the sports world. Um, if it's kind of like a major thing in the sports discussion right now, we kind of want to be there, just giving our takes on it, whether we know anything about it or not. We love watching sports, and I feel like we have opinions on most of these sports stories that happen. So might as well share them here since we are trying to give ourselves a platform. Um, but I also, along with that, we love talking fantasy football. We love talking sports betting, so we'll dabble in that as well. Don't expect anything good, but we're gonna try our best here. Um, so yeah, with that, are you ready to get our first pod here?
Vibes are high, my dude. I'm ready to get this pod started. Why not do a quick run through of what we're actually going to be talking about for our first pod? So, it is NFL season. We're going to go heavy on football. Majority of what we're going to be talking about is going to be the NFL and covering week 3. If we have time, we might dabble into some college football as well. Just from this past weekend, a big game between IU, Illinois, where we beat the shit out of them. Super happy about that. It is Mendoza season. It is Heisman season for Mendoza as well. Um, and so, Naveen, let's go ahead and get started talking about our first NFL game of the week, the Bengals, the Vikings. Initial thoughts on that game?
Just in general, honestly, before we get started on the specific game, this week was crazy in terms of NFL, just because right when everything kicked off, for like the first half of every game, it felt like every game was just dragging. Everything was boring. Nothing was happening. All these defenses were just going crazy. And then towards the end, everything just went haywire. It was like one of the craziest witching hours I could remember in a while. But yeah, specifically with this Bengals Vikings game, before the start of the season, this is probably one game where everyone was probably really excited because on paper it's two really good offenses. Two of the best receivers in the game playing against each other. And instead, we end up with Carson Wentz versus Jake Browning. It it was one of those games for sure where it was kind of over before it even started. Um, I don't know. It wasn't. It was not a fun game to watch. Did you watch much of it?
No, not really. I actually watched like 30 seconds of it, maybe. Um, I guess I don't know what my biggest takeaway from this game is. We saw JJ McCarthy those first 2 weeks, and then we see Wentz this week. Is JJ still the future of that team, you think? Like, is he, like, when he comes back healthy, is it JJ's team or is it Wentz's team? Because I think we can both agree that for that offense specifically, they don't need someone to come in and, just carry them on their back. They just really need a facilitator, a game manager. And is that JJ or is that Wentz? Because the Vikings have a really good roster and they want to stay competitive and they want to win. And I think in order to win, Wentz gives them that opportunity.
Maybe it's just me, but I hate Carson Wentz. I hate watching him play football. But I think it's way too early to give up on JJ McCarthy. He's been pretty injury prone so far this early into his career. Yeah, he didn't look great, but if there's one coach that can make him look good, it's Kevin O'Connell. So I think he's going to keep working with him, and hopefully he gets better, man. He's on my dynasty team. I need him to be good. What do you think? Do you think Carson Wentz can really take over?
I don't know. I think, is he a starter in this league? I actually do think Carson is a starter in this league. I think with that offense specifically, he can excel. He can definitely win more games than JJ can. I just think when you drafted JJ McCarthy in the first round, the expectation's always going to be you have to play him, but their roster is so good where it's like you don't have time to develop a quarterback, right? You want to win now, and I think Carson Wentz gives you that opportunity more than JJ does. Um, but kind of looking just at this game specifically, Isaiah Rodgers, and I mean, he had 2 touchdowns, an interception for a touchdown. I think he had 2 forced fumbles. Just a quick thought here. Do you think he had any bets on himself for Vikings touchdown?
That would be sick. He would have had a massive payday if he did.
For the people that don't know what we're talking about, to give you some context, Isaiah Rodgers used to play for the Indianapolis Colts, and he got cut because he got caught betting on FanDuel, and so he was cut, and then he went to the Eagles, and then now he's on the Vikings, and I think it's so funny that he has 2 touchdowns, and I'm like, my first thought was, man, this would be crazy if he actually bet on himself on this game.
That that would be honestly hilarious. Um, but no, good for him, man. You know, when you get like hit with the gambling thing in the NFL, especially the NFL, it just feels like you're screwed, you know? So good for him to be able to come back and play for the Vikings and probably have one of the best like first halves for like a defensive player ever, just in terms of all what he did.
Yeah, I saw his defensive rating for that game was a 99.9, which is like the highest that's ever been given to anyone. I mean, he had 2 touchdowns. So,
Yeah, yeah. Kind of on the other side of that, what do you think of the Bengals?
oh, their season's done.
Yeah.
Browning, look, Browning, has he looked good the past 2 games? Not really. Um, that offense, in terms of skill position, is really good. Like Chase Brown, T. Higgins, Jamar, but like that O line isn't that great, and that defense is a joke. Um, and so, what's my outlook on them moving forward? I mean, if Burrow's not playing, that team is irrelevant. They're not going to be competing for anything other than a high draft pick.
Um, I agree. I am very scared for, what season was that? Was that 2 years ago when Jake Browning came in for Joe Burrow?
Yeah,
He looked pretty decent then, and I was hoping he would look something like that, at least for fantasy wise with Chase Brown, like all the guys you just said, and all of them were pretty much horrible. Like I don't know what you do with any of Bengals players going forward fantasy wise. It's gonna be a tough watch for Bengals fans and people that are fantasy owners of those guys.
I agree with you. Let's move forward, man. I don't really care about this game that much. All right, the Texans and Jaguars. I can kind of start us off. This game was painful to watch. The Texans are easily the worst offense in the NFL right now. They have no O line. Stroud has regressed significantly. Um, I was watching that game and I felt like they ran the same play 20 times. It's just a bootleg, and then they just, a 3 yard pass to Dalton Schultz, and that was it. Um, I feel like they have like no offensive identity at all. I don't know what they're doing half the time. Shout out to D'Amico Ryans. I like him as a coach, but outside of that, the S2 cognition test is really showing up right now because it seems like CJ Stroud can't process shit right now.
Yeah, dude, it's kind of crazy to compare these last like the so far this season and last season compared to his first year, or he just looks like a completely different guy. Also, why did they trade Laramie Tunsil? Why did they trade like any of like what was their idea going into this year with just giving Stroud a shit line, O line? Like, what are they planning to do? They don't have any running backs. They don't. I don't know, man. I honestly don't know how they win a game besides their defense carrying them.
Do you remember last year? Like going into last year's season, you can make the argument that they had like the best wide receiving core, like just the best skill position players in general. Because you had Joe Mixon, you had Nico, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, Schultz. Like offensively, that team was really good. It's just they've regressed significantly. And are they the worst team in the AFC South right now? I don't know. I take the Titans over them.
I don't know, man. That's just a sad discussion that I don't want to have right now. That makes me just sad to think about.
Speaking of the AFC South, though, the Jaguars. Thoughts on them in this game?
I need to give you my piece on the Jags, man. I've watched way too much of the Jags this year. I don't. I hate watching the Jags. I hate Trevor Lawrence. And before I say anything more about Trevor Lawrence, I did listen to him, pardon my take, and he was a great interview, sounded like a great guy. But I'm so sick of watching this dude play. He throws some of the worst interceptions I've ever seen. I don't know if you saw the one in this game, but I was just like, bro, come on. What are we doing here?
He had a clean pocket. He had a
Yeah.
clean pocket and he threw an interception. It's not like he was under pressure or anything like that. He just made a bad read and made a bad throw. And I think that's been the one issue with Trevor Lawrence is that he's not consistent as a quarterback. And when he came into the league, when he was coming into the draft, the hype around him was generational quarterback. Did you see what he did at Clemson? he's going to be the next Andrew Luck, and now he's just dog shit. Like, he's not good at all. Also, one thing that pisses me off about the Jaguars is like when Travis Hunter got drafted, like they're like they're like hell yeah, like we got the second coming of Jesus basically, and they don't even play him now. So it's like, what is going on? Like if you look at this last game, I think he had one reception, and I think defensively he only played a couple of snaps. So it's like you know how explosive Travis Hunter is as a player, but they're just not playing him.
Yeah, I know specifically talking to that press conference you're kind of referring to. Their like 29-year-old GM was like, "This guy's gonna save us," and they don't use him. Like, what are you doing here, bro?
Their GM is
Even
just playing fantasy at this point.
yeah, seriously. Even like, dude, there's nothing. Like, I know the Jaguars are 2-1, and like, look, I don't know, decent ish. Like, Tra- Travis Hunter, I don't know what you're doing with him. Even Brian Thomas has looked very shaky so far this year. Like he has not looked good. He didn't really show up until that big catch in the fourth quarter that led him to that touchdown drive at the end. But like he's not been good so far. It just doesn't seem like their offense is meshing at all. I don't know. I'm not particularly high on this team. Like they just play in a bad division. Like you said, the Texans are terrible. The Titans aren't going to be good. And I think the Colts are significantly better than the Jags, so I don't
Oh,
know.
Colts are top five in the NFL.
Yeah, we'll get to that later.
All right, let's
Um,
move on, man. Packers and Browns. Anything here?
um, yeah, that I still don't really understand how the Packers lost this game. I watched quite a bit of this game because I had Jordan Love starting at quarterback for my fantasy league in a couple different places, and he like it was weird. Like maybe they just respected like the Browns have a really good defense. Let's say that first and foremost. Their defense was incredible, but it just looked like the Packers were playing like they didn't really play their traditional offense. It seemed like they were kind of scared to, do the things that they usually do. And the Browns did shut down Josh Jacobs, and it just felt like it was just a very defense oriented game.
Yeah, I don't know why the Packers hate Matthew Golden so much because he's their best wide. Also, what pisses me off about the Packers is this wide receiver by committee. Like, can we just get rid of that? Like, I don't know why they love Romeo Dobbs so much. Like, he's good. He's not great. I think when you watch the Packers play, you could easily make the argument that Golden is their best wide receiver, but he's just not getting the ball. I understand it's still week 3 and he's a rookie and he's going to progress with time. Um, I don't know if you saw the one play where I think they're at the 4 yard line and Matthew Golden caught like a 30-yard pass and he could have gone for like a 96-yard touchdown, but he just went out of bounds.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see
Yeah,
that.
that was painful to watch because I had Golden starting in my league. So
Mm.
I'm just screaming at the TV the entire time. But outside of that, I do agree with you. The Browns defense is really good. Obviously, we know how good Miles Garrett is. Ward as their cornerback, just their entire defense in general. It's been very consistent and very good.
I was just gonna say, I forgot to bring this up. Did you see that they were up 10-0 with like less than 4 minutes left in the game, and they
Yeah,
still lost that?
yeah.
That was a shocking image. But yeah, go on. Sorry.
No, I was gonna talk about the blocked field goal. I feel like just Sunday, within the span of 15 minutes, there are like 3 blocked field goals, right? Like obviously this game, the Eagles had one. Um, who was the other team?
The Eagles did. The Chiefs did at night. They blocked a
Oh, they
PAT.
did? Wait, so
Yeah,
4?
there was a bunch. Yeah.
Dude, week
Um.
3 was weird.
Yeah. The Broncos got blocked, right? Or am I
Maybe.
wrong?
I don't remember.
There was just a dude. There were so many. It was the week of special teams and defense.
Yeah. I guess the only other thing that I want to say is happy for Joe Flacco. And I hope Judkins doesn't punch anyone else and that he can just stay playing football. Because he looked really good.
Yeah, man. I don't know why they still play Joe Flacco. To be honest, he didn't really do anything that game.
Yeah. I mean, they have Shador, they have Dylan Gabriel, Bailey
Yeah, I mean,
Zappi.
you drafted those guys. You might as well see what they got
I
at this
think they
point.
will. They will. I mean, eventually at some point, probably play
Yeah.
Dylan Gabriel first and see what they have there, and then if it doesn't work out with him, maybe go to Shador. Um, I think just with time, eventually they'll get some playing time.
Yeah, let's move on, man.
Yeah. All right. Chargers, Broncos. I'll kind of let you get started on this one.
Yeah, this was a weird game. For most of the game, it felt like it could go either way. Um, the Broncos defense looks really good still. It's just Bo Nix, man. He's just gotta be a little more consistent. I think the Broncos can be a legit playoff team. But right now he's missing throws everywhere. Like the one big throw he had to Cortland Sutton, he was wide open. So I guess props to him for making that throw. But overall, Bo Nix hasn't looked great so far. Um, on the other side, Justin Herbert's the man. Like he can't do anything wrong right now. That he threw like 100 mile an hour bullet pass to Keenan Allen that I'm sure you saw. Yeah, the Chargers look really good, man.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Bo Nix, from what we saw last year to what we see now, I do think he's regressed. It is still pretty early. It's only week 3, but he missed a lot of wide open throws, especially the deep balls. I think he missed 3 or 4 opportunities down the field. But no, I agree with you. Their defense does look really good compared to what it looked like last week against the Colts. Justin Herbert is the man. I mean, I don't know what happened. He got Harbaugh. He has Madison Beer. Dude's just winning in life right now. Also, Quentin Johnston can catch all of a sudden. I didn't know that was possible. He looks like their wide receiver one at this point. And then also Keenan Allen, man. Like, I did not see this coming at all. Especially from a fantasy perspective, like where you were drafting him at.
Yeah. Also, it sucks that Najee tore his Achilles, but shout out to Mary and Hampton, I guess. Please do something for my team now, please.
I liked him. He looked really good when Najee went out and he was like the primary running back. Um,
It feels weird. I feel like they don't know how to use him because like when Najee was playing, they would like only use him as like a pass blocker. They would like I feel like they stopped giving it to him to rush up. I don't know. It felt weird. So I guess maybe they'll see. I guess we'll see how they play him now. But yeah,
all right, let's move forward. Raiders, Commanders. Thoughts here, Naveen? Because I didn't watch this game.
there was one. I'm sure you saw. Did you see the clip of Mariota where he fumbled?
No.
He took off. Dude, it looked like he was back at Oregon. He was going crazy. He was just running all over the place. He tried to hurdle over a guy, and a guy hit him right as he was hurdling, and he dropped the ball and fumbled. And then he came back to earth, and he was like, "Oh shit, I'm not Oregon Mariota anymore." Mariota looked good though. It was a fun game, somewhat. I didn't really watch a whole lot of this game either. I just saw that Trey Tucker was going crazy for the Raiders. In what world would you ever expect Trey Tucker to have 145 yards, 3 touchdowns? So,
Yeah. Yeah, I
yeah,
think it's so weird that in week 3 of the NFL that the amount of backup quarterbacks already playing, like Tyrod Taylor, Carson Wentz, not Joe Flacco, Tyrod Taylor, Carson Wentz, Mariota. Like I feel like it's 2018 all over again, or 2018
right.
in general. I don't know, but yeah, I have no thoughts on this game. I didn't even watch it.
No, I my only thought was I thought the Raiders would be, like not winning games, but at least like be in games. But so far they haven't really looked good besides that first game against the Patriots, who are also not that good. So I don't know. We'll just have to see.
All right, Naveen, let's move on. Colts, Titans. I'm gonna go first on this one.
Go ahead.
First and foremost, man, it feels so refreshing to finally see this team win again. Like my generation of Colts fans grew up with Peyton Manning, watching him play, and then we had Andrew Luck, and then for the last I don't know 6 7 years, it's just been hell. I think that's the best way to put it. And now for the first time, it's like we have hopefully an answer at the quarterback position. Indiana Jones has been killing it. JT and that run he had was nasty. I mean, this game was over within the first 60 seconds. Kenny Moore had that pick six against Cam Ward. Um, Offense was on sync the entire game. I think what's really impressive is that he hasn't had any turnovers in 3 games. Um,
Knock on
and
wood.
so what?
Knock on wood.
He's about to have like 6 the next game now. Um, but no, I think another thing I was thinking about was Daniel Jones and obviously his time with the Giants. This makes Brian Daboll look really bad as a head coach, right? Like, I don't know, this is just my perspective, but it shows that Daniel Jones wasn't the problem. That entire organization was the problem. Um, and so I guess, what about you? Takeaways from the Colts win?
No, it was honestly just a crazy. Like I don't know what Cam Ward was thinking when he throws some of these passes. He had another pass where he tried to wind up and throw to the opposite side again. Even that first pass that Kenny Moore picked off, like that was a horrible pass. The Colts looked really good. It should be exciting. I'm excited to see how they play against the Rams next week. That should be a
Yeah,
real test to see how legit. I mean, they are legit, but just like finally playing like one of the best teams in the NFL. I'd say in the Rams at least would be a good test to see what they're looking like.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's also going to be our first. I mean, we were on the road this past week, but just playing in LA in that environment is going to be very different than playing in, Tennessee and the Titans this past week. I'm
Mm.
interested to see what the line is for that game.
I know it. Can you give me a guess?
Rams minus 2.5.
Last I saw, it was minus 3.5.
Really?
Rams minus 3.5.
Take the points. Born plus 3.5.
Yeah, I mean the thing about this Colts team is you're just kind of remind you so much of last year's Vikings with Darnold, where you're just kind of waiting for the shoe to drop with Indiana Jones, and it might just not happen. Maybe he's fixed. Maybe he's good. I think that's a real possibility here. What I am waiting for is you haven't given a full apology yet to Daniel Jones. So would you like to go ahead and do that?
Daniel Jones, if you're watching this podcast, I owe you an apology. Naveen and I started working on this podcast like a month ago, and I had a 15-minute rant about how much I hate the Colts organization for starting you and how Anthony Richardson's the future of our team. I owe you an apology. I'll probably DM you later on your Instagram just to formally apologize to you as well. Um, but hopefully you can stay a Colt for a long time because from what I've seen right now, you look pretty good. But yeah.
Show me that Daniel Jones MVP ticket, man. It's
Oh,
time to lock it in.
I already locked it in week 1. What are you talking about, bro? $1 to win 10K.
Really?
No.
Honestly, I would believe those odds. If you took that week prior to week one, I could see that.
I wonder what the odds are right now. I know he's pretty high for comeback player of the year.
Yeah, no, that makes sense for sure. Um, Jonathan Taylor MVP.
No, probably not. It'll probably be Lamar or Josh Allen or a quarterback.
Would be fun though. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Cool. Let's move on, man. Falcons, Panthers. This game was just confusing to me. Like I don't get it.
Dude, I can't say that I watched much of this game, but whenever Red Zone cut to it, I was just confused by the score. Because then I would go look at the box score, and it didn't make sense to me. Like the Panthers didn't really do anything that special in this game. Like I think Michael Penix was just really bad this game, really bad.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on because I mean, last year that offense was very explosive. Obviously, you have Bijan, but then Drake London ascended into being like a top 10 wide receiver in the league, and all of a sudden it's like, where's their passing game, right? Also, they need to give the ball to Bijan Robinson more. Like they only give it to him 10 to 15 times a game, and then they bring in Tyler Algier, and I'm like, what are you guys doing? Like the gap between Algier and Robinson is a lot. Like Bijan is by far the best running back in the league, in my opinion. And it's like, give him the ball 20 to 25 times a game. I understand it's a long season, but like if you want to win, you got to win early on. And I don't know why they're not giving him the ball more.
It's just I don't know if you saw this announcement, but they made an announcement today. Their head coach, blanking on his name, Raheem
Uh,
Morris.
Yeah, Zach Robinson's moving to this. Yeah.
Yeah, that should do a lot. That should be good for
Hey,
them.
maybe they score a touchdown next game.
Yeah, maybe Raheem Morris wants him there so he can shit on him after he calls a shit play call. Maybe that's why he needs him on the sideline.
Oh man, but outside of that, anything on the Panthers?
Yeah, dude, I think Tet looks really good.
Oh,
He
100%.
he had that one contested catch. He jumped like 8 feet in the air, man. It was crazy. He's gonna be a beast. I'm excited for him.
Yeah, he looked really good. Bears, Cowboys, thoughts on this game?
Maybe don't play CD Lamb at running back. Maybe don't get him killed. My
Yeah,
big takeaway from that game. Honestly, dude, that game, like, I don't understand what the Cowboys plan to do here, especially since they probably had to win every game with the shootout. And now you're missing your best player by far for at least a month, I'd say. Like, they're screwed, man. I don't know how they win anymore.
yeah, it's not just that, but their defense is a joke. Like their D line is non-existent. Their linebacking core isn't that great, and Diggs is getting cooked every game. I feel like. Um, where do they go from here? I don't know. I feel like they're already eliminated from playoff contention. Um, the Bears, though, I see the vision. I see the Ben
See it?
Johnson vision. I see it.
Cool trick
I,
play.
that trick play was really nice to Luther.
Hmm. It
Yeah,
would
that
have
was
been so
nasty.
Bears if DeAndre Swift, he kind of threw it up high and Caleb Williams had to jump. Just imagine if he threw it over his head and then the Cowboys just swooped it up. That would have been funny. I kind of hope that. I was kind of hoping for something like that, but it was cool though. Cool play.
Yeah, it was a cool play. But no, I see the vision of Ben Johnson and what he's trying to do there. I think his offense takes some time to learn because it is pretty complex. Like when he got to the Lions, it took them, a year or two to become what they are today. And I think with time and with a couple more, maybe one or two more draft classes, I think they'll improve. I think what they're missing though is like that offensive, like explosive player that kind of fits into his offense, like that Jameer Gibbs type player. And so I think with time they'll just continue to get better. But from what I saw this past week, progress. And so hopefully they can kind of continue this moving forward.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know how much stock I want to take up in the Bears just because they look good, but he also played the Cowboys. You know, like we'll see. I guess we'll see. They play the
It's
Raiders next. We'll
it's
see what
too
happens.
early. It's too early to like give
Hmm.
a opinion on some of these teams because it is only week 3.
Yeah, for sure. Did you want to talk about your parlay?
Oh yeah, that was rough. Like Naveen said at the beginning, I don't know why CD's playing running back. I had my bet of the week was CD Lamb to score a touchdown. As soon as he got injured, I turned the TV off and just was like, I'm done. This is insane. He's skinny as shit. Why are you playing him at running back? He's not Debo.
It was
He doesn't make.
painful. It was painful to see the way his ankle turned.
Yeah,
And
and
then
then
they
yeah,
yeah,
they
sorry.
put him back. They put him back in the game, and then obviously he couldn't run. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? You probably
Yeah.
just added another week for him to recover now.
Oh,
Anyway, all right, Eagles Rams, man. I'm so happy Jalen Hurts realized that he can do more than just a tush push, that he can actually throw the ball. And also welcome back AJ Brown. Happy you're back. Congratulations on a dominant game. Naveen, your thoughts?
yeah, dude. It was such a tale of two halves. Like that first half, I think he had less than 20 yards passing. Jalen Hurts did. And then he came back and he's like, all right, screw this, man. I'm just going to dice them up. And he was throwing all over the place, man. Like, I can't remember the last time I saw Devontae Smith catch a ball of like worth. It was crazy. Um, but now the Eagles just are so good, man. I hate to say it, but they just look so good. When they remember that they can actually throw the ball and not just have to run it the entire game, they look good. They look really good.
Yeah, and their schedule's been pretty tough so far. And it's the fact that they're winning against a lot of really good teams. I at the beginning of the season I said I think they're going to go back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I
Their
see it.
defense is nasty too, dude. Like back to back blocked kicks is crazy.
Yeah.
I honestly can't even like comprehend how you can like how that happens. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
But no, shout out to Jordan Davis. That was sick. Sick
Yeah.
run back. How about the flip side, man? Do you got anything on the Rams?
Um, I love Puka, Devontae, Stafford looks really good. Kyron Williams looks solid. Good O-line. I mean, they're playing at a very high level. I think they win their division as well just because of the 49ers and the injury concerns that they have there. Um, yeah, I mean, they look solid.
Yeah, I don't really understand what happened in that second half.
Yeah.
I guess their defense, the Eagles' defense, just really stepped up because they went into that game like with like a two touchdown lead, right, at
Yeah.
halftime.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess we're not really film guys, so I guess we won't really know until someone tells us. But um, yeah, shout out Eagles. I guess you guys are really good.
All right, let's
It's
move on,
lit.
man. Saints and Seahawks.
Yeah, my only takeaway from this game, Brandon Staley. You remember that shithead?
The Chargers? Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize he was the defensive coordinator for the Saints. They uh they they were they were showing red zone and it panned to him and I was like, what the hell? This guy's still in the league. This guy has a job. So shout out to him, I guess. I'll never forget him coaching the Chargers in that playoff game against the Jags, and then they blew it. And he was like, "It's not my fault." Dude's an idiot. And one more thing, shout out to Jack Stoll, big former Husker, probably like a third string tight end, caught his first touchdown in the NFL. That's all I got from this game.
Congratulations, Jack. All the best moving forward.
Besides that, Seahawks look good. Yeah, let's move on.
Cool. Niners Cardinals.
Niners Cardinals. Oh, dude, don't even get me started on this game.
Can I just say my one take here?
Yes, yes, please do.
All right. I'm just happy Trey McBride got a touchdown early on in the season because last year he had like one touchdown, I think. Um, Happy for him. Also, I don't like Marvin Harrison that much.
No, no. Dude, I cannot stand the Cardinals. Like, in theory, they should be such a fun team to watch. Like, Kyler Murray, you have this dude that's no taller than me running around, making passes, running, like, evading people. But no, dude, like, he just bums me out, man. This whole team bums me out. Did you see Marvin Harrison's drop?
Yeah.
Dude, he would have scored like an 80-yard touchdown. It was wide open. Oh my God, dude. I can't stand watching this team.
I think if you look back at that draft class, how was Marvin Harrison picked as the first wide receiver? Like, I understand his dad and everything, and he dominated at Ohio State, but like, he hasn't translated that well to the NFL, especially like you see what Malik Neighbors is doing, you see what BTJ is doing, even Lad McConkey's killing it. I mean, you can make the argument that out of that draft class last year, what is he, the fourth or fifth best wide receiver?
Maybe, maybe. Um, yeah, dude. I think I'm sick of it. I'm sick of Kyler Murray. I think I'm gonna limit my exposure to him. Just looking at him.
He's playing too much Call of Duty.
Yeah. Um, where does he rank in quarterbacks you hate to watch?
Ooh. Can I give you my top five real quick? In no order, all right? Uh Trevor Lawrence,
Easy.
CJ Stroud,
Yep.
Tua.
Yep. Can I give you one that I think you're forgetting about? Russell Wilson.
Oh yeah, oh my God. Dude, don't even get me started. Russell's painful to watch. Um,
Horrible.
who else? I don't
Kyler
mind
Murray.
Kyler. I don't mind Kyler. I don't mind him.
Dude, he just looks like he has so much promise and then he just doesn't deliver. That's my thing with him. Like he was the first pick. Like I don't know, dude. I don't know. He's not worth the contract they gave him. He doesn't really make the offense fun. I don't know. I'm over it. Let me say one more thing about the Niners because we didn't talk about them at all. The Niners, Ricky Pearsall, dog, absolute dog. I take Pearsall over Marvin Harrison right now.
I mean, if you get shot and you come back and play in the NFL, you're immediately recognized as a dog.
Um, it's kind of crazy the Niners have two guys that got shot within the last year on their team.
Who's the other one?
Brian Robinson. Wasn't that last year or 2 years ago? I mean, pretty
Oh
recently.
yeah,
Let's say pretty recently.
they got a
So,
type.
yeah, good for them. But yeah,
Uh,
man, shout out Trey McBride too. Glad he finally caught a touchdown. I don't know why it's so hard when he's one of the best tight ends in the league.
all right, cool. Let's move on, man. Steelers, Patriots. I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I'm still under the opinion that the Steelers suck. They're gonna do their usual shit of going 9-8, probably making the playoffs, flaming out. They had five. I don't know how many turnovers they had, but the Patriots had five turnovers, and the Steelers won this game by a touchdown. I think that's all you got to say about the Steelers team. I don't believe them.
Yeah, I just want to congratulate Mike Tomlin on going 9-8 and having a winning season again this year.
Let's
Um,
clap it up.
Congratulations, happy for you. Outside of that, shout out to Hunter Henry. Did I start him as my tight end in fantasy this week? Absolutely. 24.5 points. Thank you, Hunter Henry. All right, Jets and Bucks. Naveen, I'll let you go first on this one.
I think the lasting image from this game is just going to be Aaron Glenn doing his dance after they block the kick and return it for a touchdown. But then they still lose the game. But spin zone. When you look back at that dance, you're going to be like, oh, the Jets won this game. When in fact, they did not. Besides that, I don't know if I would take another quarterback besides Baker Mayfield to win you a game with the 2 minute drill at the end of a game. He has been so good at that lately. And he's just, dude, he just has that dog in him where he just doesn't care. He's going to get you that win. He's going to talk all the shit in the world. I don't know, man. He's so good.
I feel like Baker wears his emotions on his shoulder. Ibuka looks really good, man. Like the first 3 weeks, obviously week one he got those two touchdowns. Week two he got a touchdown. In this game, when Mike Evans went out, he had that. I think it was a 30-yard catch with one hand. Um, he's gonna be a stud.
Yeah, especially now that Mike Evans is probably going to go on the IR again, which sucks because he always has an hamstring injury. But yeah, he looks really good.
Baker Mayfield MVP conversation.
Baker, Justin Herbert. Let's get one of those guys to win it. I'm tired of Josh Allen and Lamar.
One of the other guys.
Yeah, exactly. I love that.
We're about to clip that shit and post it on Instagram.
Yeah. Yeah, Baker Mayfield, Justin Herbert, Indiana Jones.
Ooh, love it. Quentin Johnston for comeback player of the year because he can catch.
Yeah, he got hands.
A wide receiver that can catch.
Who would have thought?
Oh man. All right, let's wrap it up. Talk about the Chiefs and the Giants real quick. The Giants offense is just unwatchable. I think the only thing that I enjoyed about this game was watching Scattaboo play because that dude is a beast. Like,
Yeah. Um, he just reminds me so much of. Remember when Isaiah Pacheco was first making like a name for himself with the Chiefs, where he just run like a crackhead? Scattaboo's
yeah.
just like the white version of that, where he's just putting his helmet down and just ramming into dudes, seeing what happens. Can I give you my Giants take?
Yeah.
So every time they pan to Jackson Dart, he just looks like infinitely cooler than Russell Wilson.
Oh,
He's got
100%.
he's got the chain
Chain?
on. I think he's got the colored visor on too, right? Or
Yeah.
does he not? He looks
I don't think
so
he
much
does.
cooler than Russell Wilson.
He has the black paint over one eye only. Have you
Maybe
noticed
that's what
that?
it is. Yeah, there's something like that. He just looks so much cooler than Russell Wilson. And I need Russell Wilson just out of my life. Just retire. Just go do something else. Stop playing football and ruining Malik Neighbors for all of us.
I feel like Russell Wilson would be a really good pastor.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Also, Russell Wilson, he throws all these moon balls and they either go like 10 yards out of bounds or they go straight to the defender. It's
Did you see
Never on target.
Did you see the one where he almost got Malik Neighbors killed?
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Do you remember? Did you see the last four plays of the game where it was like the 2 minute warning and Russell Wilson just had probably the worst sequence of all time?
No.
He got a intentional grounding from the 4 yard line, which is really hard to do because he overthrew the end zone by like 15 yards. Second, he had a quarterback draw, just ran straight into the line for no gain. Third down, just threw it out of bounds. Fourth down, threw it out of bounds, and it hit the goalpost. It was horrible. Like, I need him gone.
What a
It's
complete
time for Jackson
180.
Dart.
What a complete 180 from like last week's game where he had probably his best game in a very long time. What was it? 450 yards passing. They lost the game, but like in terms of production, like he looked really good. And then who'd they play last week? Oh, the Cowboys. That makes sense.
Yeah. You know what sucks though? The Giants, they're gonna play. They play I was looking at their schedule. They play the Chargers this week, so they're probably gonna scapegoat Russell Wilson one more week, so they can let him get hit a million times by the Chargers defense. And then week 5 they play the Saints. So I think that's when we're gonna see Dart. So
Hell yeah.
hopefully just one more week of Russell Wilson.
Dart versus Spencer Rattler. Matchup of the
Electric.
week. Matchup of the
Electric.
week. And Brandon Staley. Can't forget about him.
Ooh. He's gonna have some great schemes against Jackson Dart, I'm sure.
Jackson Dart might have 3 touchdowns and 400 yards. All right, man. What else is there to talk about? How about we do this real quick? I guess after the first 3 weeks of the NFL season, which fantasy players look like winners to you?
Yeah, so far there's been I feel like a decent amount of late round picks that have helped so far. Um, Obviously the one I'll let you talk more about this guy since you are in love with him, Amico.
Abuka.
Yeah, I'll let you have him. My next one's gonna be these two running backs that went really late. Scadaboo. Obviously now that Tyrone Tracy's also hurt, he looks like a dog. Hopefully he doesn't get injured himself with the way he plays. But he was like their entire offense last night. Like I don't think the Giants could do anything without him. So he looks like he's going to be a pretty good pick and going to be able to, fill in for running backs here. Because now that it feels like we're getting a bunch of injuries, especially so. Scadoo looks pretty good, and another one's Judkins. Judkins, hopefully he doesn't get any more cases and beat people up. He looks good so far. He looked good against the Packers. He looked pretty good last week, too, on limited touches. So those guys are what you need, especially in late round picks.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think the rookies have been pretty impressive so far. Obviously, Abuka, Scadaboo, Judkins. I think you got to also shout out like ETN has looked really good as well, especially where you drafted him. Keenan Allen, Hunter Henry went undrafted. I mean, there's quite a lot of guys. Cedric Tillman, I think you could argue is another guy. Um, the Tennessee Titans wide receiver, the rookie, what's his
Oh,
name?
Alec Ayomaner.
Yeah, him as well. So there's definitely like a handful of guys who are producing at a pretty high level for where they were drafted at. Um, I guess other players that you have in mind, like I know JT was drafted in the second round, but he's playing like a guy who should have been drafted top three.
No, for sure. Him. Um, like wide receivers wise, it's kind of crazy. Like now that you kind of look at the situations that the top three receivers are in, Chase, Lamb, and Jefferson, it's kind of crazy. Like if you started a redraft today, I think all those guys would probably go definitely not in the first round, just given the maybe Chase would, but I don't know. I don't really trust any of those guys more than I trust like Neighbors or Puka for sure.
Yeah, I mean at this point I'd take Trey Tucker over CD Lamb.
But yeah, no, James Cook has been another really good running back so far. He was drafted pretty like in the third or fourth round, if I remember right, and he's been on a dominant run so far. He looks unstoppable for that Bills offense. So that I feel like he was a really good pick. You got anyone on mine?
I was actually going to say James Cook as well.
Mm,
He was pretty dominant last year,
mhm,
from what I remember, but I know the first 3 weeks this year as well, he's done really well. What always worried me about drafting James Cook, though, was the fact that Josh Allen runs so much around the goal line. So that's taking touchdowns away from James Cook, but it doesn't seem to be a problem at all. Like, even when
mhm,
they're inside the goal line, it seems like they prefer handing it off to James Cook. And, like, Allen's not running it as much around the goal line area as he used to. Um,
mhm.
I guess, are there any, like, we've been talking about skill position players, any quarterbacks that you've been
I was
surprised,
just Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I feel like this was the year to go up and get one of those high drafted quarterbacks
yeah, I
because
agree
if
with you.
it feels like none of these quarterbacks are like playing consistently enough to where you're happy with them starting every week.
Lamar, Josh Allen, Hurts.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah, man. Like I
Oh,
thought Bo
Daniel
Nix was gonna
Jones.
be good.
Daniel Jones.
No,
Oh,
Dimes has been good.
Dimes has been good.
Um, I can't stand Bo Nix anymore. I took him like mid rounds or like seventh rounds ish, and he just hasn't been good so far. Yeah, I don't know. Not a lot of good
Bro,
quarterbacks this year, I feel like.
I drafted Joe Burrow. How do you think I feel right now? Even Jaden
Yeah, it's
Daniels,
tough.
the injury, and it's just been a weird season for quarterbacks.
And it's really, I feel like it's really hard to trade for one this year, too, just because everyone's not been that great so far.
Yeah, like if I want to trade for Jalen Hurts right now, it's like I have to give Malik Neighbors, CD Lamb, and I don't know, just someone else. Yeah, it's like ridiculous. Right, real quick, Naveen, let's touch base on college football. For me, IU fan, game of the week, IU, Illinois. We beat the shit out of Illinois 63-10. Shout out to my boy Mendoza. Heisman conversations. Just the past 2 weeks alone, these are his stats: 40 of 43, 10 touchdowns. I know last week he played Indiana State, but the fact that he beat the shit out of Illinois is impressive. Not just that, but you got to give Kurt Signetti his flowers as well. Um, I mean, he took over Indiana, which is one of the worst football programs at the time, and 15-2 so far, just under his coaching career at IU, and the only two losses have been to Ohio State and Notre Dame. And so, excited for IU. If you look at their remaining schedule, it's pretty winnable. I think the two toughest games we have are Oregon and Penn State, which that'll probably be a really good game to watch this week because they play each other. But
They play this week?
Mendoza, yeah, yeah.
Iowa, or sorry, Indiana versus who?
No, Oregon and Penn State play this week.
Oh, they play each other. I see. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. But no, happy for Mendoza. Hopefully he gets some Heisman recognition now.
Oh, he for sure will. Yeah. No, I only saw the highlights of that game. It looked pretty insane. What was Illinois ranked? Like nine or something?
Yeah, 9.
Yeah, which is crazy. I feel like some of these rankings are just crazy. They're still ranked somehow, even though they got their shit kicked in, which doesn't make sense to me.
I feel
Um,
like if you lose by 50 or more, you just don't deserve to be in the top 25.
no, no, definitely not. Especially this early in the season where most teams have played cupcakes. Um, yeah, I went to the Nebraska Michigan game, which was fun at times, but also shitty because that was a very winnable game. Like we came out looking good. We kind of drove the ball at will the first two drives really. Not coming away with 0 points on those first two drives is really what lost us the game at the end, I thought. Um, Overall, I mean, I'm pretty at the time I was definitely bummed out because I was like I said a very winnable game, but I'm still pretty high on this team. I think they can really hang with most teams. They just really need to fix their defensive line, especially against the run. We're still one of the only like four teams in the nation, I think, who hasn't let up a passing touchdown yet. Like our secondary is really, really good so far. Um, Rayola's been really good so far this season too, and I'm really just getting tired of this whole. The only narrative around him is they're not even talking about how good he's been this year. Like he's so far he's thrown for 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, and one interception. He's got a passer rating of 184.7. Like he was the reason we were in that game at all against Michigan. Like he made some good throws. Like obviously had an interception, but when you go look at the play, it's definitely not all his fault. Um, Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was
Who you
gonna
think?
say I watched a little bit of the game and he looked really good. Bryce Underwood has not looked good. Um,
No, I'm not super high on him. The like the most the touchdowns they had against us were broken run plays where our run defense just looked awful. And besides that, like our defense looks pretty legit. I know this is hard to say after we just got gashed on the ground, but I really think with the bye week coming this week, we have some winnable games over the next couple weeks before we play our next probably ranked opponent, which is going to be USC for a home game. Um, I don't know. I still think we can win a decent amount of games and see where we're at the end of the season because, like I said, most of our hard games are going to be USC at home, and then we go to Penn State at the end of the season. So I mean, like at the time, it was tough to watch, but when you kind of really like watch the game, I definitely think we're better than we were at the start of the season for sure.
Go Big Red.
Go Big Red, man!
All
I'm
right,
excited.
cool.
We'll see.
Anything else for college football? Or good to wrap it up?
Yeah. Did you see Arch Manning? Real quick.
Dude, he's playing SMU. What are you doing?
Not even SMU. It was like
Sam Houston. Sam
yeah,
Houston,
that's what it
sorry.
was.
Yeah. What are you doing, bro?
He ran in a touchdown and flexed on a dude.
Flexes on him?
Relax, bro.
Oh my God.
Relax. I was an arch guy until I was like, all right, screw this kid. Also, I think it's fair to say that some of these kids look like dog shit and are not good at football because now that they
Yeah.
make like millions of dollars, like I think it's fair ground where you can say this guy looks like shit. Versus in the past, you're like, oh, it's just a kid, you know?
Do you remember before the season started, they had Arch Manning as like the number one pick in the draft?
Yeah, and then they had the Clemson quarterback, like right after him in Heisman and odds, and now they're both just gone. They're not even to be found. Yeah, I feel like that's the whole thing with AP rankings too. Like, I don't know,
Oh,
like it's kind of weird to just come into it like a season with like just because these like a bunch of people rank these teams as the top 25 and you just go with it. I don't
yeah.
know. That's all weird to me without actually seeing any gameplay happening.
Yeah,
I think
I
that whole
agree.
part's broken, but that's we could do a whole pod on that.
We got time.
Maybe. Yeah, for sure.
One more
Um,
hour
yeah,
with your voice.
yeah,
Bro,
my voice.
you won't have a voice tomorrow.
Dude, I forgot about that. At the Nebraska game, that Hail Mary. Did you see that?
At the end of the
That was
second
sweet.
quarter.
That was sweet. That was like that was cool. That
Is
was
that
some
where you
fun.
lost is that where you lost your
Well,
voice?
yeah, because like I was sitting on the ends, like directly behind where he caught it, so I couldn't tell what happened. And then the announcer was just like touchdown, Ja'Cory Barney, and I was like, what the hell? And I saw the replays, and it was crazy. But yeah, you got anything else on college football?
No, not really. Do we want to quickly talk about the NBA?
Yeah. Did you see the news today?
Yeah. Van Fleet out for the year. So are they just gonna have a starting five all of forwards, pretty much? Just a bunch of forwards?
Yeah, I don't know if this tweet has been like vetted or not, but I read a tweet from Legion Hoops, who usually posts pretty like reliable stuff. They tweeted the Rockets have zero cap space, which makes them ineligible to replace Fred Van Vleet with any free agent. Not Westbrook, not Ben Simmons, nobody. Tough. So like if that's really the case,
Reed
like
Shepard.
Reed Shepard has to step up. I feel like a lot of this like I feel like the Rockets were gonna be good because they have like KD always needs like that playmaker for him, right? And if they don't have that, like I don't know how much like yeah, they're better than the Suns were last year, but I don't see how they just don't run into the same problem as last year. As like the Suns did where they never had a true facilitator.
That's tough because the Suns had Beal, Booker, and Durant, who all needed the ball in their hand to be dominant. And I feel like with the Rockets, it's almost the opposite, right? Like Durant's really the only one who needs the ball in his hand to be effective. Amen Thompson's going to do everything else. Um,
Yeah, I just meant like it's their offense is gonna look not as great anymore
oh,
because
it's
I feel
yeah,
like
I agree
KD
with you.
always needs that facilitator, and I don't know who
Yeah,
that facilitator is now.
I've seen Reed Shepard in summer league balling out.
He was good at Kentucky.
I feel like he's really underrated. He just needs an opportunity to actually play.
Yeah, apparently Ime Udoka hated him because he didn't play defense last year. That's why he never played.
You know what's funny? He's like one of the best defensive players when he was at Kentucky, like for
Yeah,
that team.
yeah. So I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens. Um,
Gosh, I wish
yeah, man.
NBA was back.
Yeah, I mean, NBA is fun, dude. I'm excited, especially as a Thunder fan.
All right, man, let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Anything else we want to talk about?
Not really, man.
All right, cool. Well, thank you everyone for joining us, for listening to us. This is our first pod. We don't really know how we did. If we did bad, I'm sorry. Naveen, sorry. Uh, but make sure you like, subscribe, do all of that. I think we have social media accounts set up and ready to go. If we don't, then cool. But appreciate you guys tuning in. Take care, and we'll see you guys for pod 2.
Yeah, let us know what to do better in the comments.
All right, deuces.
I think we should say that, right?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. All right.
Just
Thanks,
keep all
everyone.
this in. Just keep all this in, bro.
I will for sure.
All right, I'm gonna stop recording.
All right.